Hey everybody, this is Dean DaCosta, the Search Authority, and today we're going to talk about how to utilize a site called All People. Now, All People is a site that I've known about for a while, and it's something, but I kind of forgot about it as I was trying to figure out the best way to use it. So, a lady by the name of Donna Rapson, who I'm connected with, reminded me of it, and I said, yeah, I was playing with it and I forgot, so let me see what I can do to try to figure out how we can best use it. So here's what we got. Allpeople.com has about 82,400 people, and it can be searched in varying ways. So one of the ways I'm X-raying, but let me actually take you to the site itself so you can see what it is doing. So what we're going to do, here's all people. You can search by name, by email, by phone, by industry. But what I find, to be honest with you, is it's hit and miss using the tool itself. It seems a little bit better when you are X-raying, but let me show you both of them. So let's start with this. We're going to go with the name. I like to just do myself because I don't want to pick on other people. So let's do Dean DaCosta. And it says none, which I find interesting because, I mean, I exist, last I checked. So let's try Dean DaCosta separate. So for whatever reason within this database, I don't exist, which is fine. Let's try somebody else that might be a little more well known out there that might be able to. Let's try Joe Biden, the guy running for president. Of course, I gotta spell it right, Biden. So let's do a search. Okay, now we're getting some Joe Bidens. We get a boatload, including Vice President of the Democrat Party, which is probably him or that. All right, good. So let's just open one up. We'll open him, and we get an address, we get a phone number, what he's part of, and all that. You can get his all biz profile, and you get to go over here and you get a phone number and a whole bunch of interesting things. Which this all biz is something I'm going to get into in a minute, or at least in another one. So this I find this interesting. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get all the way out of this all biz and come back. So you're seeing live. We may have just found another place to source, and we're going to look into that in a minute. That said, I kind of like doing it this way. And what I like doing is just going by a company. So I'm going to pick on a company. I'm going to pick on Boeing. Just, I don't know, because I can. I'm going to pick on Boeing and look at all these people I get that work in Boeing, 552 of them. I like this. And now I open up this particular Boeing one and let's see what it says. Sorry, ooh, the page doesn't exist. Okay, that's interesting. Let's try this one. Sorry, the page doesn't exist. I find that interesting considering these people are supposed to be there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab this Sean Larimore copy and we're going to go ahead and go in here again where it says I'm sorry they don't exist. And I'm going to try it again and look up Sean Larimore. And there they go. For whatever reason, sometimes going in this way, it's not working, but there he is right there. But this is how you find them. And you got this. You can get a Boeing number. You just click the thing and say you're not a robot and hey, I'm a real person, I'm not a robot, and there's his work email, phone number, all that good stuff. So this is pretty cool. So the question is, inside, how do you do it? Because we aren't going to know it. So I'm thinking, and I'm doing this live with you, it's maybe the best way to do it is search by industry. What would happen if we went with defense industry? Okay, it didn't pop up telling me that's an industry, but we'll go with the defense industry. Let's see what happens. Sorry, it's not an industry. All right, let's get back here and see what industry. It's not pop. See, here's my problem with it. It doesn't populate. It's not a bad tool. It's just not populating. So let's do this. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Go back to industry. See if it gives me any indication. Let's try this one, software, and see what it gives me. And if we do software, sorry, it doesn't. See, this tool has got potential, but it's really kind of dry. And I know that if you put in an email, it works pretty good. If you put in a phone number, pretty good. The name is a hit and miss thing. So what I'm going to try is I'm going to try searching one more time on myself, even though it won't show I'm here, and it didn't do me any good. So maybe the way to try searching might be, oh, I don't know, this way. Let's try. Let's see what happens if we put in the word Seattle and see what we get. Let's just do Seattle. Sorry. You see, it's very limited. And that's why I say I think searching this way might be better. You get these list of people, and yes, you can't seem to go right into it. It keeps saying, sorry, it does not compute 410 error, which is kind of malarkey. But you can just go ahead and do this and just copy the name. We know that they're in there. Come back over here, put in the name, do a search. Ooh, and it said it's not, she's not there. Oh, well, let's try see what happens if we try it without the space and try it again. See what I mean? It's just one of those hit and miss things where you just don't know. But what I find interesting is there's their email phone number. There's a phone number for her. There's a phone number for him. I mean, a lot of the information's sitting right in front of us. So I'm not sure it really matters how we go about doing it. Again, sorry, 710 error, which makes no sense. The page you requested no longer exists. All right, so who was that we were trying to go into? That was Steve Haggerty. So let's go ahead and copy Steve Haggerty's name. Let's go over here. Let's put in Steve Haggerty and try searching. Sorry, it doesn't exist. Okay, so we did Sean Lattimore. Sean Lattimore actually existed. So let's try Sean Lattimore and see if, oops, let's try Sean Lattimore and see if maybe there's just a problem with the website being stupid. See, still not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out if it's a Chrome thing or not. So what I'm going to use is use the Microsoft Edge, which can do almost everything that the other one can do. And we're going to go in here and we're going to give it a shot and see if it's the same thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is go here and open up my personal page here and go into the All People section. And then we're here and we're going to put in Boeing just like we did before. And there's Sean Lamar. So let's see what happens if we open it up here. Do we get the error? Yes, we still get the error. Let's see what happens if we highlight the name like we did before. That worked. And do it. Let's clean this up. Go backwards and go here and let's try it. Sorry. See, that's, oh, it's asking me if I'm a robot. I did that before. My bad. Let me open up, say I'm not a robot. And it brought me to here instead of finding Sean Larimore. So that I find all this interesting in that we're finding him, but then it's, oh, and here we go. All right, so here's what I think we're learning. If we really want to have a shot at utilizing this correctly, I think we need to go from their main page. So let's go ahead and find out. Let's use Dean DaCosta and see if there are any Dean DaCostas in here. We went from the side page and it's saying no. Okay, let's go back. Still got my name there. Let's put Dean DaCosta together and try it again. Let's go. Could not. So it's still not finding me, and that's okay. Let's pick Yvonne Miller now and see what we get out of Yvonne Miller. So let's say copy. Let's go here and see what we get. Yvonne Miller, search. And there we go. All right, so here's how to do it. So what we need to do is search from this page, the main page. But the problem is for email, if you have an email, this works great. For phone, same thing. The problem is with the name, it's you don't know. So it's tough. So what you need to do is basically do an X-ray in to find your names and then go in and find the people specifically this way. And that's the best way to do it. So, but let's still try the industry from here because I'm kind of interested. So what would happen if we put in software in here? Well, not software, so let's go with software. Software. All right, so we're just going to do that. I don't know why there would be a city and a state with an industry. That kind of is bizarre to me, but let's see what happens. I'm guessing nothing. Okay, I was wrong. Not 50 software, and it comes down here, but you'll notice it's not really an industry. These are people. They're not an industry. So basically, long story short, this is not the industry stack part of it does not work. The part that works is name. Once you've identified them using an X-ray, and then the email and the people verification works. So that's how we use this tool. It's usable, it's viable. I mean, there's 552 people right there that work at Boeing, and I'd be willing to, and I'd be curious to know if you can, if there's any other information perhaps that we could add to this that might get that we can do. Let's see what would happen if let's go back and try something different instead of Boeing. Let's try developer. Now this is all live. Wow, look at that, 12,400 developers. Now, they may not be software developers. That's the only problem. I mean, that's Bloomberg. And so these are like business building developers. Let's add in the word software and see what we get. Ah, now look at what we're getting. Now we're getting some interesting stuff down here. Software developers, software. Ah, so now we know. So the way we want to utilize this tool is going to be based on a company or based on a fairly specific title. You can't just use developer. You got to use software developer or Java developer. I'm sure it would work. You could probably use software engineer. So you got to be a little more specific than just developer, but it definitely can be used. And then once you get the list of names you want, you can go ahead and enter them into the main site one by one to ensure that you can find the people you want. And that's probably the best way to use it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and work with Zap Info to see if Zap Info can go ahead and get us a little info here. Actually, I'm going to go back to the Chrome, and this is the Chrome. And actually, let me go back to here and get the main page for all people. Go back to Chrome, and I'm doing this on purpose so you guys can see that there really isn't much of a difference. Okay, so we got this. So let's go ahead and see what would happen if we did the same search here and or just leave it like this and see what Zap Info could do for us here. So we're going to do, first we're going to get rid of all these people that I did for a different project, and let's see what happens. Let's just try exact from page. This is where it's going to tell us Okay, there are no records on the page to click. That tells us that this is not this page, this particular thing hasn't been mapped. So now we're going to go ahead and try to capture all this information. Let's try to capture the emails and see what we get. Ah, look at that. We're getting some emails. Not many, just 3. So let's cancel. Let's go ahead and try capture. This is bulk capture from page. So let's try it one more time. Instead, do contacts from a list. Let's see what that does. May or may not do anything. Let's wait. It's going to take a few seconds. Look at that. It's getting all the records. There we go. So that might be our best way of handling it. Let's confirm and see how it brings us back the info. So we got all this stuff we don't care about. We got their name, which is good. We got their direct site. Yeah, most of the information here probably isn't going to be useful to us. So what I'm going to have to do is probably go ahead and get with Doug of Zap Info and go ahead and have him map this kind of results, which I will definitely do for you to make it a little bit easier. That said, again, utilizing other tools, we know all these email addresses. We could probably even put in the word Boeing, and let's see if we put in the word engineer. Oops, my bad. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, now we got all engineers. Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're talking. So, this is how it works. A special thanks to Donna Repson. This is one of the reasons why it was taking me a while to try to figure out exactly how it would work. I kind of knew most of this already, but I always like to come on here and kind of work it through with you. So that's it. My name's Dean DaCosta, Search Theory. This is allpeople.com. May the source be with you.